I was collaborating on a project with this artist friend of mine named Carter. He has a single name like Madonna. He's Carter. And we had done a film together called Erased James Franco. The title of that film was inspired by Robert Rauschenberg's painting Erased to Kooning, where he took it to Kooning and erased it. So this was going to be a film with an erased performance. That's a whole other story where it wasn't quite an erased performance, it was more like a smudged performance or something. Well, the original idea was that I would give a feature-length performance and try and give the best performance I could, but most of it would be done in my head. And so it would be me, and the way Carter explained it when he approached me with the idea was that I would let 10% of the performance come to the surface. And I said, okay, Carter, conceptually that sounds very interesting, and I would love to do it, but I think you're going to end up with a piece that, you know, will go on a wall in a gallery, and people will stand there and watch it for about 20 seconds. If you want this thing to be more like a movie that people will sit in a theater and watch, I think it has to be something a little different. And he's like, really? I said, well, all right, well, let's do a test. So we did a test in his studio one day, and he brought his camera phone, and he's like, okay, let's do it. Sit on the stool and give a performance. Like I think I was reenacting like City by the Sea or something, like this movie I did with De Niro. Like he said, all right, yeah, like do that, and it's very dramatic. Like do that, but only let 10% come to the surface. So it was basically, I'll do the performance for you. It's basically like this. You know, I mean, I'm laughing right now, but basically like that. We watched it back, and he was like, yeah, okay, maybe it shouldn't be 10%, maybe 50% should come to the surface. So we did performances of Rock Hudson from this movie called Seconds, where he plays a painter, who gets, it's like a guy who embodies another guy, and then to be like the best painter in the world or something. So crazy movie. And then Julianne Moore from Todd Haynes' Safe. I think mainly those two, and then myself, and then performances that I give. No. It was always me just reenacting the scenes as myself. And the idea behind those two movies in particular is that Erased James Franco is sort of, you know, there's no real narrative, but there is this underlying feeling or theme of kind of breakdown, a sort of mental breakdown in Julianne Moore, kind of, you never know what she's suffering from in Safe, but and in a way that even served our movie even more. But she is kind of having some sort of a breakdown. Normally in narrative commercial films, as an actor, I'm asked to play a character who is supporting the suspension of disbelief. The director wants me to be embedded in the world so that the audience can get lost in the narrative. But when we did Erase James Franco, it's working on it in a different way. Just by the title alone, you're aware that it's me, but then I'm reenacting. I'm playing characters, but they're roles that I've played before, and I'm not acting them in the best way. I'm not trying to make you completely believe in the performances, or at least I'm not allowed to, because I can only allow 50% to come to the surface. So in that way, it's almost like, what would you say, like Brechtian in a way, where you're kind of pulled in to the performance, but then you're also pushed away. You're aware of the performance too at other moments.